Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, I knew I was only going to get the case knife, and so I wanted to get some Rough Riders also. So I went ahead and placed an order for 3 Rough Riders, all of the same pattern, not of the same series. And that would be Copperheads. Mainly because I didn't have enough Copperheads. Now, what I got was 3 of them. And this is where I was torn between that price. You know, it came out to like 48 bucks. Yeah, these are all going to be decent knives and stuff. But I already have more than one Copperhead. I mean, I've got my case Copperhead. And then I've got 2 Rough Rider Copperheads, you know, one in white bone and one in like amber jig bone. But toss and turn like we do and everything and fiddle around, I finally decided to order these 3. And these are the stickers that I got, 2 new stickers. Normally you would get, you know, like the normal Smoky Mountain Knife Work one or something like that. But now we've got, I can't tell exactly what's going on here. If that's a rope and he's being speared, another fish is running away from him, or if he's a unicorn whale. I didn't know if they had those. Anyway, and then we got the knives one, which is kind of like on the friend stick, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so Copper Swirl. Even though these are all Copperheads, you can see how much bigger the Copper Swirl one is. But let's get to this black acrylic handles with genuine copper swirls. I like, you know, it's a magnetic box and everything, but I like copper knives. I like the way they turn when they patina. So see, you have a brand new one here. And then this is something that uses copper, the patinas. And then here's another one, you know, that develops a patina. Some people like it shiny like that, and it's usually not too hard to keep it that way if you want. This reminds me of Spyderco's Raphael Noble or whatever type of scales they used to have on the Chaparral. I mentioned that a while back because Jersey Knife Guy, Peter, he was talking about his copper swirls and how he liked them and everything, and he couldn't remember what it reminded him of. Some Spyderco knife, and that's what it is. But let's zoom in on this. It's really nice. It's not just like, you know, a little splotch of copper here and there. There's like a pattern in there. You see that? Like a mesh, and then these almost look like copper tubes. So it's really something. It's pretty nice. It's something you can't really just pick up, you know, looking at on a photograph a lot of times. You have to see how the light interacts with it. Let's see if we can zoom anymore. Are we at maximum zoomage? We are now at maximum zoomage. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's different. Especially that's really bizarre the way it did that. You know, it almost looks like a weave and it has a starburst to it. Alright, let's unzoom. So really what you're doing a lot of times, once you figure out a pattern that you like, let's say Copperheads, then after that, if you're going by the same manufacturer, all you're going to get is basically different covers. Maybe different bolsters, like in this case it's copper instead of like nickel silver, but you're getting the same thing. Alright, so that's one copper head. It's even got copper in it. Now these other ones are just Copperhead in name only. Now this one, there's that acorn shield of the Outdoorsman series, and it looks very similar to like, kind of like this one, but again, it's a Copperhead. Let's see what his number is. R2289. So this is an earlier, this is a more recent model here. Let's check what this guy's number is. No half stop, so you know that's an older one. No, it's a Rough Rider with an I. This one is a 043. So this is a really early one, 043. So they brought it back, but they're using like this acorn shield, but it's not an outdoorsman. It's not in an outdoorsman box. So you can't always judge a Rough Rider by its shield. I guess is the moral of this story. Alright, so there's one more. We got one more Copperhead, same kind of box, with this one with a Rough Rider with a Y. And our model number is 2288. Alright. It's coming out. And this one again I got because of the covers. It's blue. It's got a nice blue color to it. Let's zoom in on it. Now, not always is it, just because it's the same manufacturer and the same type of knife, it's going to be exactly the same, because sometimes they switch things up. Alright, so we got a nice little bomb shield here. And then Rough Rider with a Y and the mirror thing on it. A little swedgy. Oh, so let's unzoom this guy and get these guys in the center. What are you doing here? So yeah, this is just a quickie, just to show you some that I got in, and I'm debating on whether I should do this anymore, because I like Copperheads. I like that pattern, but you're basically getting the same knife with just a different cover on it. And this one right here, for example, that pattern, that bone right there, what does it remind you of? They could be brothers. This one costs a lot more. This one will probably cut just as well. This Rough Rider will probably cut just as well. Looks just as good as the case. The difference is Rough Rider doesn't make one of these in any bone pattern or anything. It doesn't make a tribal lock. It makes back locks and everything, but a lot of times they don't have a spear point. They have a clip point only. So yeah, you can get some that are close like that. It really comes down to what is a knife? A knife is something that cuts something. It like cuts paper and stuff. So you could just look at it as like just the edge. Well, then we'd all just be carrying around scalpels. Just like there's nothing to it, just a little sharp thing just for cutting stuff. But it's more than that. Part of it, is appearance. And another part of it is cost. Part of that enters into the equation. And on my thought about getting Copperheads, I'm not going to be able to get every Copperhead that Rough Rider made. And I even question why I would want to do that. To have a complete collection, so, what are you going to do with it? It's just going to sit there. So yeah, I'm kind of questioning getting the same type of a knife, even if the covers are pretty. Getting a bunch of them just to be getting them. The reason why I started collecting Rough Riders was to try out different traditional patterns. And what was good about that was, you find things that you never knew if you'd like or not. And then even patterns that you don't like, this is a really tiny example, you would still get to at least experience them and see what they're like. And if you don't like them, you won't have very many examples of them. But if you do like them, a lot of times you'll wind up picking up more than one example. Because they have this in the Copper Swirl now. They have this cub. Is it going to be any different than this knife? other than its appearance? No, it's not. So why do you want more than one of them? I don't know. That's a good question. Why do I want more than one knife? You know, it gets down to like that too. You can start doing that. And it's just a narrowing down process, I guess. So I probably won't be, even though I like Copperheads, I probably won't be buying a bunch more of them, even if the cover on it looks good or it comes out. This is mainly the main one I wanted to get, but I thought while I'm getting Copperheads and I don't have a whole lot of them, why don't I get a couple more examples? Because I really like this. It's not it's not the black and blue series. It's just a blue bone, but because they did a pretty good coloration of it, and yeah, I could get a bunch of these white ones here and just get out some dye and start doing it, and then I don't even have to worry about the shield there if you don't like the shield on it. And you can make it whatever color you want, or, you know, come up with. But I don't know. It's a dilemma. So anyways, the moral, I guess, of this story is, for me, why am I collecting a bunch of different same knife, basically? One might have a different fit or finish, but they're all going to be, all of these are Copperheads. All those. The difference in this one is it's a different manufacturer. So it's still a Copperhead, but it's a different manufacturer's case. So it has, you know, a pin blade and stuff in it, and a worn cliff. I've got to show the little warning there. Little warning to it. As opposed to these guys. So there you go. Sorry, I didn't come up with any answer, and I couldn't come up with anything funny either. Nothing funny about a Copperhead. Could be. You could laugh at a Copperhead. Copperheads are one of the 4 poisonous species of snakes in Texas. So, yeah. And I've seen a Copperhead up close and personal in Texas, in San Antonio. Too close. Somehow it gotten up into the outside of the, I was renting a house, and it had gotten in where the water pipes go into the house, and they don't have a rattle like a rattlesnake, but he was doing something with his tail in there to make all kinds of noise, and I'm like, what the hell's in here? And so I got a stick, and I started poking in there, and out comes a Copperhead, all pissed off. I'm like, whoa, good thing I didn't stick my hand in there. So there you go, there's a little Copperhead story with you. And these are my latest Copperhead acquisitions, and I like this material. I like this handle cover. So if you're wondering about that handle cover and if you like it or not, I don't have the other Celestial one or all that other stuff, but for these, they look pretty nice. So there you go, I've wasted enough of your time. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.